Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to what is another edition here of the Brilliantly Dumb Show. You have Joey D, you have Mikey V as well. Mikey V rocking the breezy sweater here, and the D-Man has arrived as well. The Brilliantly Dumb Show is brought to you by the fine folks over at breezygolf.com. Make sure you check out their stuff, anything and everything you need. Now, no ads last week. You're going to get 20 ads this week. Just kidding. Not 20.
Got to make up for lost time.
Correct. But I thought that was a nice, not to pat ourselves on the back, D-man, but I thought that was a nice gesture of us.
People complained, we listened, and now we're back.
Yeah, we listened
No,
for
it was a very brief interlude of us listening. I mean, we can only listen. Our attention spans are very short. They grow shorter by the year. So it's
I don't
pretty
think
good.
people realize too that we have people, people who are editing and producing the show that they don't do it out of the goodness of their heart, even though we do love our guys. They need to be taken care of. When we have ad reads in the show, it helps pay for the services that we're getting from guys who are producing the show. It's like, you want good production, you want it to be on time, a timely manner, week after week after week, which, by the way, not to pat ourselves on the back again, I feel like
That's even
we've
though
been tremendous.
Go ahead.
I don't think, but Michael, have we missed an episode in what, a year?
No, probably a little over
Through
that, but
holidays, through natural disasters, through leap years, we have been on it, man, from start to finish. We haven't missed it.
COVID.
So
but again, we do
COVID,
want to
stock market crashes,
not
elections.
not to pat
solar
ourselves on the
eclipses.
back. We're not
Yeah.
patting ourselves on the back, but it has. I mean, look, there's a lot going on in the country now. It'd be very easy for the D-man to say, you know what, with these tariffs going on right now, this could.
I need a week off.
By the way,
I took a big
funny.
toll on that stock market.
Yeah, not
yesterday,
funny,
man.
not funny. A lot of people are getting hurt. Look,
Oh,
I'm
bro,
not.
it was brutal.
I was never one to really dabble in the market. Just not my thing. Never was. A lot of people think I'm nuts for that. A lot of people always like my buddies and stuff. They're always like, "Well, you should get into this." Just not really my thing. But I know a lot of people took a beating this week, and
It was awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
And you know what the thing is too? No one's like knocking on your door, letting you know that you got banged. So you open up your app to check it out, and then you're like, oh my God, what is this? Like at least if you're putting a wager on a sports game, you know you're dead, you're dusted, right? Or if you're doing something else, like there's no alert. It's just like, yeah, all right, well, there it goes. Now you see me, now you don't.
We got a glimpse of Donnie. We got a glimpse of Donnie at LIV this week. He came in the helicopter, and they were like doing the preparation landing for him like the day before. Pretty cool. We were on the 18th tee box, and we were doing this thing for Grant's channel, Duels. We couldn't tee off because we had to wait for him to come, and nobody was more upset than Dustin Johnson. He looked at me. He's like, Bob, I got a dinner reservation. I was like, Dustin, I'm hosting, but I ain't in charge of teeing off.
Maybe, but yeah, he thinks Bob could have put in a call to the commander in chief. Divert the chopper landing. Why don't you take a lap in the sky and just take your time.
It was pretty wild actually to see that you got all these major winners like Bill Mickelson and Dustin Johnson and Bubba Watts, all these guys on the tee box, and Bob's leading the video with the intro for a YouTube video. What world are we living in?
I will say that I've never been nervous doing like an intro, with the Josh Allens. Like I never get nervous. I like that stuff.
You had a little anal shrinkage there. You had a little decimal point.
Yeah, when I turned around and saw who was behind me. By the way, we were waiting on the tee box for Perez. Nobody knew where Perez was.
What the fuck is that, Bob? What is that you have in your? What is that?
Let's see.
What the fuck is that?
What is that? It looks like a bile.
It's my look, in 10 seconds. In 10 seconds, I can drink the water. So wait, it's the Gary Brecka.
Why do you have to wait 10 seconds, Bob?
But it's the Gary Brecka water bottle. Here it is. 2, 1.
What does it do?
It's the Gary Brecka electrolytes bottle. So it puts some type of.
Bob, you got scammed on that. How much did that thing cost you?
You think Bob paid for that, Joe?
Oh yeah, I do.
I did. So? I got it from the TikTok shop. Yeah, I did. This one I did. Yeah.
That was a mistake. They would have sent you one of those, I'm sure.
What is it supposed to do?
It pumps like electrolytes into, it's a hydrogen bottle. So it puts hydrogen in the water. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something about this bottle. You could drink 10 bottles of spring water spring water, and you're not going to get what you can get out of one thing from this bottle.
No,
Right.
Bob, that's
This
not
guy,
true.
man, he really is like Gunga Din. All the water, that's just all these different bottles. That thing looks like Bill Murray would capture ghosts in it, like in Ghostbusters. It looks like a device from Ghostbusters to capture spirits and store them in the little
That is
locker
a
they had there
wild
in the
play.
basement.
With that being said, my health has never been worse. It's bad. I
Carry
wake
back
up
a water,
like
folks.
Mikey,
Bobble.
I went to and Joe went the night before me. Sebastian invited us to come to a show, Maniscalco. So
That's
Joe
nice.
went with Nicole the first night. Me
Right.
and I rode went the second night.
He was
But
so good.
first off, the Hard Rock, that is like a mini Vegas, D man. That place is
You
absolutely
see that theater? It's massive.
Yeah, but did you eat at the food court?
No.
Bro, we had like just a couple slices before
Bad
the
or good,
show.
Bob?
Terrible.
Sounded
cheese.
like it was
Yeah,
really bad,
yeah, I
yeah.
wouldn't have done that.
And now it's like if I do eat anything like bad that's not good, I feel it so much the next morning when that never used
Yeah.
to be the case.
The older
Like
you
a
get, man,
hangover.
the older you get, I'm telling you, bro. If I have if I like during the week, if I eat like a cheeseburger and like a big burger and like a couple wings, the next day I feel like I'm hungover. Like I was
I
drinking.
thought hangovers only happen from alcohol. Now,
Yeah,
food
no, there's
is
food
awesome.
hangovers, man.
What the
There's
fuck,
food
man?
The older you get, if you eat like that, like if I have a milkshake, like my ass will jiggle for like 2 days, it feels like afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's just the bounce back is just not what it used to be at all. There's none.
No, it's
The
like
berry
drinking.
gets me
It's
every
like
time.
it's like you went out drinking the night
Yes,
before. It's the
I'm
same
telling you.
thing in the
Telling you.
morning. Did is that why you get so pissed when I have you like eat the Wendy's and stuff like
Yeah.
that, Mikey? Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, on the weekend is like one thing. Like the weekend, I try to make like a very strong decision. Am I going to drink or am I going to eat like a piece of shit? I try not to do both. So it's like if I know I'm going to be going out and like it's going to be a dinner or out with the fellas to watch a game or something like that, like I know I'm going to be drinking, I'll try to not eat like an asshole. Or if I know I have nothing planned, I'll be like, I'm not going to drink at all. Like this weekend, I think I had 2 beers the entire weekend. That's all I had, which is great. But the eating like yesterday was just, it was bad, like really
What did you
bad.
have?
Yeah,
Oh,
talk me
man,
through that
dude.
lineup. I love this shit.
Well, we had, Dom's opening ceremony and T-ball game.
Yeah.
last night. So that was like an all-day affair. Bro, they have a ceremony at 9 in the morning that went for an hour. That's not the game. Then you wait like 5 hours. Now we got to go home, obviously. But then his game wasn't until like 3:30. So in between, we went to the diner, 4 eggs over easy, well done home fries, no toast, Taylor ham. Okay, that's been like my staple Saturday breakfast now for a month. Then after the game, hit up our good friends at Luna Wood Fire Tavern after the game for a little post-game pizza, which we always do. Now, I only had a couple little of the personal pan slices, the personal pie slices, no big deal. But then I had an Italian chicken sandwich, which was like chicken cutlet, long hots, fresh mozzarella, balsamic drizzle, with a little, I think he even puts a little prosciutto on there. I'm not sure, but it's nice. It's a manageable sandwich, not like it's nice. Sweet potato fries. But then I came home and then I DoorDashed I'm becoming bad with this shit. DoorDashed the Tonight Dough, which is a Ben & Jerry's flavor.
Oh, that
Dough.
is a fat move, dude.
That's
If you're
dude,
delivering
you're
that
a fat
bad,
fuck, man. You're a fat fuck. I got fucking 3 tall boys of Coke Zero delivered, 3 16-ounce tall boys of Coke Zero, and a fucking pint of the Tonight Dough. What a piece of shit. But I tell you what.
Are you a Coke Zero guy, Mike?
Good ice cream, bro. Really nice ice cream over there. What?
Are you a Coke Zero guy?
I do like the Coke Zero more. I was always
We're talking about it.
I was always a Diet Coke guy. Always a Diet Coke with a lemon off the fountain. This Coke Zero is something else, man. I think Coke Zero's made the move. I think it's
that was my buy. I love
sorry,
a good
Bob.
Coke. No, so you didn't know, but
I'll lay off the
But
Coke
You
Zero.
know who
Coke-
drinks Coke Zero by the gallon is the one Mason
Mason
Nut.
Nut, dear friend of Mikey V.
Yeah.
He was asking about you.
My guy.
Mikey.
It's my
He
guy.
was asking about
The
you.
Nut, Mr. Nut himself. Yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Nut.
Yeah, he didn't like the oysters, huh? Not a big
3
oyster
point
guy.
stats.
Not an oyster guy.
No, he's from Texas, Oklahoma. He does barbecue and
Yeah.
Mikey, he said to us at LIV, sorry to cut you off, D, he goes, man, he's like, if I see that, because we were talking about you with the Brilliant Dumb show, and he was like, no, in a funny way, he was like, man, he's like, the second I see Mike, he's like, I'm dropping like 10 toes down, like 3-point
Dude,
stands.
is he out of his mind? Is he out of his mind? Is he nuts? Is he crazy?
he's a big boy, man. You see him,
Big boy.
Dude,
I mean, but Michael, you see him bodying me?
He's
Yeah,
the one.
Joe. Never
Mikey,
mind.
one of my
Never
all-time
mind,
favorite
dude.
YouTube. I thought I might have said this. One of my all-time favorite YouTube clips. I'll have him send it. Is he's showing Josh Allen his like 3-point stance while they're
Yeah.
doing the video, and he's like, Josh is like, "You doing anything in the fall?" And he's like, "Let me show you what I got." He's like,
Yeah.
"You
Yeah.
like you did at the wedding, like
Right. Yeah. The pass rush.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't
so
take
good.
the lineman out of the offensive lineman, man. You just can't do it.
That is
Yeah.
true. That is
Totally
true.
not. Yeah.
Now, ladies and
No
gentlemen, I
way.
do want to know whether you're a lineman or just an average Joe like myself. When it comes to health, you want something that you can trust. And that's why we here on the Brilliantly Dumb Show choose AG1. That's why I choose AG1. With science-backed ingredients and real benefits I can feel, AG1 makes it easy to support overall wellness every day. And that's why I've partnered with AG1 for so long. You cannot go wrong, ladies and gentlemen, with AG1. As good as it gets. And now, AG1 is offering new subscribers a free $76 gift when you sign up. You'll get a welcome kit, a bottle of D3K2, and 5 free travel packs in your first box. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/dumb to get this offer. That's drinkag1.com/dumb to start your new year on a healthier note. Thank you, AG1, for sponsoring the Brilliantly Dumb Show. Just some news on the Brilliantly Dumb Show. This is really out of the farm system of Joey D and Mikey V.
Oh, yeah.
EA, Eric Anderson, getting the nod, another producer. As we grow here and keep the lights on here on the Brilliantly Dumb Show, we want to add to it. There's things going. Again, I always say that numbers are going up when they're not. Numbers are really going up this time. So we want to add, another more of an arsenal. So E. Anderson getting the nod. So a big welcome to him for the Brilliantly Dumb Show. He's been with the Sportsman that he worked with you guys for a bit. So the time
he's a great guy, and he's a Bears fan, so he could relate to a lot of my misery as well.
You know what's gonna happen is the Brilliantly Dumb Show is like a farm system for Bob Does Sports. Like all the Brilliantly Dumb Show guys, like it happened to Ticket, like started on the Brilliantly Dumb Show, went over to Bob Does Sports, Jet,
Bone.
Ticket, Bone. Like it's like a farm system, and now even in the farm system through funneling now through Sportsman.
Our life is so ridiculous, man. What are we doing? We're talking about a farm league.
Joe. Oh my God.
By the way,
so
Mikey,
good.
on another note, I
Yes,
saw
sir.
you take an unintentional shot at me this week.
What the fuck
did
are you
see that?
He did. Yeah, it was,
Where?
Jet texted, and it's not even Joe called it out. Jet
I didn't even know. I took a friendly fire.
Doesn't Jet have anything better to do? Jet's complaining about how much he's got to do. Doesn't he have anything to do? Thought the guy was the busiest producer. I thought he was like Quentin Tarantino with all the shit he's got to do. What did I say? I want to know what I said about Joe. What did I say?
There was a post that went out about Bob Does Sports about Jensen, who doesn't know anything about any sports.
Dude, that was not a shot at you,
and then he goes, I guess not knowing ball is contagious. So
no, I didn't say I guess. I said not knowing ball is contagious.
Okay,
just saying
more.
It as a line, but that was not directed at Cutsy. Let me tell you something. If people know by now, and people should know by now, Bob, and correct me if I'm fucking wrong. If I'm going to take a fucking shot at Cutsy, I don't fucking do any covert missions.
Rather you just
I just let it fly. I go out, I'll put the fucking wig on, and I'll just let it fucking fly.
By the way, the fact that you have that thing just sitting at the side of there,
it's just saying, well, Dom likes it. Dom likes it.
Dom likes it.
Dom's a big fan of it.
Come on.
Dom's a big fan of it.
Hey,
big fan.
The fact he's got it sitting there, Bob, is a prop.
Well, this is ready
to whim.
Well, I got the props over here. I got the pretzel. I got the wig. I got, I'm prepared for the show.
I just thought, Mikey, that based off of our history, if you were going to take a shot, you just come out and take a shot.
100%. That's what I'm saying. 100%. Jet's out of line, man.
No,
that's out of line, dude.
Just being honest. When he said like he put alert, like Mikey V just took a shot at at Joe. I know, but I will. In his defense, I thought it was a shot at Joe too.
That's crazy.
And by the way, Mikey,
Joe clapped at me. Joe said not everybody can be Penix to Metcalf, and I
thought that was
laughed at it. I was like, that's very true. But I was not like, that was a great retort. And I was like, I said, ain't that the truth? Or it's very true or whatever.
And I had prior to that, I had come to your aid and said, like, cause you had talked about
1,000,000%.
You had talked about your rant, which by the way, I think we need to do that more often. It's a good way to vent to the world when you rant on social media
that was
about
such
the kids
disgrace,
with their feet up on the table.
Oh
and
my God,
I can't say anything. And I said, and I meant it, I'll be the guy to go out and say
I know, and I wish you, I wish you had been there. I really do. I really do. I wish I could have seen.
You're out of line.
You're out of line.
You're out of line.
It was
Somebody's
a disgrace.
gotta
It
put
was a
these kids in their
disgraceful scene,
places.
man. It was a disgraceful scene. It
Dean-
really, like, these kids they think they have ownership over everything. Like,
Oh.
like they could just do whatever they want, no matter the venue, where it is. You got to
Could you
wonder
imagine
what's going on
Dom
at
doing
home,
that?
dude.
I'll tell
Could you
you.
imagine
First of all, Dom is 6 years old.
I'm just saying.
This
in the
kid is
future,
like 16.
I'm
like,
saying,
what the
I'm saying
fuckers-
Dom in like 10 years.
No,
Could you imagine
never,
him doing
never,
that?
never, bro, never.
What
I
are
would
these
hope
parents
never.
teaching their kids?
I don't know.
Well, you know what, Joe?
I don't know.
You're now going to be the generation that sets the tone.
He's going to set the tone. He's
I
going to
kind of wish my
establish the
son
run.
wasn't growing up in this generation. I wish he was growing up a generation or two before.
I
You and me
will
both.
say
You and
though,
me both, Joseph.
I will say though, yes, but I do think every generation says, you know, when I was a kid,
I don't
There's
know
no
if they
doubt
do,
about
Bob.
it,
I don't know
Bob.
if
But
they do.
feet on the table in a public venue like
Oh,
that.
I'm not defending that by
Like,
any means.
Listen, if you're loud and you're obnoxious, like, I could kind of get that, because like in high school, like I feel like everyone, like, you know, when you went out to eat at like a crappy restaurant or like that with your friends in high school, like when you finally got like a little bit of money where you could go out and you were old enough that you got your license and you could go to a place without your parents with your friends to eat dinner, like you're always a little over boisterous, I feel like, as high
Well,
schoolers.
because excitement levels are high.
Right, exactly. I can live with that. I could live with the yelling, the cursing. Like sometimes I think it gets a little out of line. That's fine. But when you take your feet that you've been walking around all day long and you put them not like leaning, like you didn't even have the foot on
Those
like the
things
edge
were
of the
on
table.
the direct table.
Dude, like on top of the fucking table where people are breaking bread, like that's just so outrageous. Like I couldn't believe it. It was
Tell
so
you where
sad.
they're not going to do
Very
that.
sad.
Luna Woodfire Tavern.
Oh,
Nah,
no,
couldn't.
no,
No,
yes.
Luna would come right out of that pizza.
Lou would just walk up. He'd be like, "Excuse me, cuts. Excuse me," and he would just fucking. That's all you would need. You'd be very intimidated by that. You know, a large Italian man with a mustache. You know, it's intimidating.
Did your friends' parents were like? Did they like you a lot? Like Bears?
I was always good with parents. Always good with parents. You know why? Because like I would go to Brian's house. There's a couple of summers where I was at Brian's house every day. His mom was making me meals. I'd be there. So like before I even talked to him, I'd go in and I'd do the shindig with his mom and like talk to her and his dad, like and you know, like entertain and like go up and be like, "How you guys been?" And then his mom, being Italian, she'd be like, "Let me make you a meal, sit down and have something to eat." And then Brian's like, "He doesn't need to eat, Mom, he's fine." And she would put up a spread for me. So yeah, I was always good with parents. You got to work the angles with the parents, because if the parents don't like you, then that's a terrible place to start.
I didn't know what it meant because I had never seen the show, but friends' parents used to call me Eddie Hassel.
Eddie Haskell.
Eddie Haskell.
That's not a nickname you want to have either.
Well, because I was always sucking up to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie Haskell.
Little brown nose and Eddie Haskell over there.
Yeah. I thought they meant it as a good thing, but I guess it
I think it's respectful though. If you go over to someone's house and their parents are there, like, and I know Michael's done this too. You go up and you say hello to the parents. You introduce yourself if you haven't met them before. Bob, of course you're good. I'm saying Mikey too is good. Like, that is something.
There's levels to this shit.
Just do. There's something that you should just. It's a no-brainer. Like if you go over to somebody's house and you don't entertain anybody else who's around, like your social IQ is very low.
And we can't have that. We cannot have that. We can't have that.
Absolutely not. That would be awful. I hold myself and my friends, aka you guys, to a higher standard.
Oh, 100%.
You're holding us to the standard. Why do you get to hold us to the standard?
I'm saying I put you guys on my level in terms of I would assume that you guys would be good with that, which you are.
I would think Dorothy D has very good things to say about me.
My mom's a riot. My mom's a riot.
Your parents are both jam. I think your dad is one of the most unintentionally hysterical people I've ever met in my life.
The speech was great.
His speech was it was like he somehow tied in nuclear physics to getting married. I don't know how the fuck he did it. This guy is like a wizard with words. He really is. He's got the gift of gab, silver tongue guy. But he's just a sweet man. He just loves Joe. Like he was so happy. Like he had a look in his eye that night because I saw him in the hallway like after all the hubbub and the speeches were over, and I like talked to him for a minute, and I was like just father to father. I thought that was amazing, and like he had a look in his eye, and he was so proud of Joe. It's just like it really is like it's just different. It's just really,
I choked up when I started talking about him because
doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter how old your kids are. When you're proud of your kids, man, it's just like that video I posted. And I don't like the guy too much, Bob. I'm not a Dan Orlovsky guy, but he had
yeah.
that.
What happened there?
What's wrong with Dan Orlovsky?
I'm just not a fan of his. Professionally, from one
he doesn't know ball, Bob.
From one professional in sports media to another,
oh
Bob.
My God,
you know what I'm saying?
We go.
You know what I'm saying? Cutsy, you know what I'm saying? From one professional in the sports media business to another. I'm not the biggest Orlovsky fan, but I will say this. I just some of his takes. I know a little backstory of him from the UConn days because I grew up with a kid who played with him at UConn, and I know a couple things.
Can we not hear that story?
Well, I don't want to air the guy out
the
like
airing
that, Bob. I don't want to air the guy
on the
out.
Billy Dumb Show.
All I'm going to say is, he's a big TV personality, and he does it very well. And congrats to him on a very successful career thus far. I'm just saying it like this. I'm trying to be serious about him as a father. What he did when he brought because April is Autism Awareness Month, and he brought his son onto the studio for that show. And man, his son looks like he's probably like, I don't know how old he was, and that's on me. He looks like to me like he's 9 or 10, maybe a little older.
I'd say around there.
And he started singing the song from Toy Story, bro. And like you could tell, like he's the kid's on the spectrum, and everyone knows.
He has autism.
Right. He's on the autism spectrum. And he started singing, man, and Orlovsky just couldn't help himself, completely broke down with so much pride of his son just having the courage to sing like that in front of a studio on live TV. And it was just, bro, it got me so fucking good, man. It really got me so good. And if you haven't seen that clip, just look it up. It's incredible. As a parent, every parent should watch that.
You can see
that's what being a parent is right there. Yes.
Okay. And I'll talking about emotions. It's a good time to let you know that the Burlington Dumb Show is indeed brought to you by BetterHelp. What better way to deal with your day-to-day, your angst, your emotions, than to talk to somebody who's literally set up for you to get you to a better place. And now you can do so thanks to the Brilliantly Dumb Show. We're going to give you an opportunity to do it in a way that you've never experienced before. And let me start off by saying this right here, right now. If you benefit from therapy and you want to feel free to share your experience, this is an opportunity for you to get involved. Your well-being is worth it. And right now, with over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. It's convenient too. You can join a session with just a simple click of the button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, you have the added benefits of being able to switch therapists at any single time. So let's talk number. Traditional in therapy can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 per session. And that adds up fast. And you know what? You're upset that we're using ads, but this is an ad that can help you directly. So with BetterHelp, you can pay a flat fee for weekly sessions, saving you big on cost and on time. Visit betterhelp.com/BDS to get 10% off your first month. Remember, your well-being is worth it. That is betterhelp.com/BDS. 10% off starts right now.
Was there a good response? I didn't see a ton of it. Was there a good response to the no ads last week, or do people just know that we're going back?
Then there were some people that were like, "This is a lie. There were ads," but it was just like the YouTube ads that no one has control over. It's like, bro, what the fuck? So you'll never make anyone happy. You want to talk about people who need therapy? Duke fans are probably in need of some big therapy. I know you're not, Joseph. You're on the Cougies money line. Very nice play. Very nice play. But I thought
that thing was dead in the water.
Duke blowing that lead was really like, I'm watching that unfold and I'm like, holy shit. And vice versa in that Florida game, they were down in the first half and then, they stormed back. And then I thought at the end they were going to botch it too because they started missing free throws and Auburn hit a couple threes. Baker Nazara hit a 3 late. But now I know the national championship will be over. This episode comes out day after national championship. But I thought the Final Four lived up to the hype of the 1 seeds, man. I thought it was fucking awesome.
They needed it badly.
Yeah, because there really wasn't any crazy moments leading up. It wasn't like the real March Madness, crazy upsets that you got for this one, which is rare. But Duke is like the Yankees. Like people love to root against Duke, and
Yep.
nobody loved to see that collapse more. Than a lot
Cooper
of
Flag
people.
should not take any flack. I thought he played
He was
tremendous
awesome.
the whole
Bro,
game.
he was a dog.
He was
a
blocking
dog.
shots. He was dishing them out. He was scoring at a will. Like
honestly,
he's all around a great player.
Watching the flow of that game in the second half when Duke had built that lead, nothing really stuck out to me as like, oh my God, Duke fucked this up so bad. Yes, they blew the lead, but I really would not say like you could point your finger at anything. I just thought Houston just did such an incredible job to come back. Like I thought it was
They've done that all year though, Mike. You remember that game?
That's what I'm saying,
Kansas?
though. I thought it was more Houston doing it than like blaming it on Duke. I just thought Houston was tremendous. I thought they just went nuclear.
They have no quit in that team. And now Mikey, we did one of those like future picks that you did, like for the sportsman. We did Houston to win the national title.
Yeah.
We did Boston Celtics to win the NBA championship.
I think they will.
World Series, we picked the Phillies and we picked the Bills to win the Super Bowl. So if the Cougars somehow win this, it makes it a lot of fun because then we have a wild and Boston.
So it's me against you with a wild future because I got the Gators plus 700 in a future with UConn women's to win the national title, Florida Gators, Boston Celtics, Edmonton Oilers, and Los Angeles Dodgers 100 to win 300K, Joseph. To win 300K.
Those are fun. You know who's doing a lot of the future bets is Bob. He's been on fire with the golf ones.
Well, the golf ones you've been fucking assassin. Now, Bob,
we got to talk about the Masters
week, Bob.
We need a brilliantly dumb show.
I need something.
Brilliantly dumb show pick for the Masters.
I like that.
I do too. Do you want to all go around and give a Masters?
Pick our winner? Yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you who I think wins.
Want me to pull up live odds right now from our good
pull
friends
up
over at
live odds.
DraftKings? I got it right now. Quick button. No problem at all.
I got two without even hearing the odds. One, me and Joe are aligned on. This guy's a stud.
Go.
The first one, I think John Rahm has a legitimate chance.
Really?
Yeah, I think John Rahm.
I think Johnny's back.
Yeah. Oh, never left. Left.
Okay.
And then the one me and D-Man like, who's way under the radar and a huge long shot, and he is good, man.
Really
what a
good
guy, by the way. Met him this week. Joaquin Neiman. Keep an eye out.
Plus 5,000, Michael. I think that is.
No, so Joaquin Neiman live right now, courtesy of our good friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook, the only place you want to place your wagers. Plus 2,500.
Oh. It went down a lot.
Plus 2,500, right above
Bob, that's a good
Matsuyama.
Sign. That's good.
Now, who was your first? Rahm is the third favorite.
Yeah.
1,400 according to DraftKings.
Do you know who's a guy? I'll let you guys go, but I say it all the time. I have nothing against him. He seems like a great guy. They have a guy that's like top 5 to win every single tournament, and he's never won on tour yet.
I know who you're talking about.
Vegas continues to put him as a top 5 every single week. I don't want to bash him because I know it'll come around and we're gonna end up filming with him or something. Say it on 3, D. 1, 2, 3. Tommy Fleetwood. Bro, they have
he's
Tommy
down
Fleetwood.
there though.
He's
he look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
like
8, 9, 10,
15.
11, 12th longest odds. Shortest odds plus 3,000 for Tommy.
Don't get me wrong, he's really good. I think he won on like the DP World Tour, but like if you look at like a regular average week, every week they have him like top 3 guys of favorites, and he's never won. I mean, crushes top 10s, but he's always up there. Go ahead, Joey D. Let's hear your pick.
I'll give chalk, and then I'll give a longer shot, okay?
Sure.
The chalk is going to be Ludwig Oberg, because I think that kid is unbelievable.
Plus 1,600 right now.
And he last year, he was runner-up to Scotty, so I think he can attack that course, and he already won this year. He won at Torrey Pines. Now, the longer shot, it's not going to be a tantalizing watch. He's kind of a boring player, but he can get the job done.
I'll do it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Patrick Cantlay.
Wow. I like that a lot. Patrick Cantlay is a guy I think who could come up. And by the way,
plus 3,500 for Patrick.
I hope Rory comes nowhere close to winning. I hope he comes nowhere close.
We're gonna end
you
up.
You can put me on the record saying that. That's fine. Guy talked a lot of shit about us, and now I hope.
Wait, now he talked shit?
No, he didn't talk shit.
He openly doesn't like YouTube golf, but did he say something to disgrace the DeMar name?
No, not personally. He doesn't even know who I am.
You said he talked shit.
Yeah,
I met him. He doesn't know who I am. But I will say this, is that he dismissed everything that we're trying to do. And by the way, we don't think we're better than the tour, but we do think that we bring some kind of value to golf, and we're trying to bring more people into the game, which is, you know, universally.
Grow the game.
Yeah. And you know what?
UCG.
This guy shat all over the YouTube golf, and it's just, you know, Rory's into Rory, and that's fine. He's one of the best to ever do it. But I just hope he's never been able to conquer the Masters, and I don't think he's one of the betting favorites. I don't think he's doing it.
With that, my pick to win the Masters will be Rory McIlroy, plus 650, actually, is my chalk guy. But I'm going to tell you, my long shot guy is Cutsy probably knows, because I throw in on this guy almost every year, because I just feel at the Masters. No, at the Masters, he's a different type of animal.
He does love some Matsuyama, though.
I do like Matsuyama, but I'm going to go with old Brooksy. I'm going to go with old Brooks Koepka right behind Matsuyama.
Michael.
I know, but plus 3,000. I love a little sprinkle on Brooksy. He's right behind Matsuyama.
Bryson? Because Bryson is hitting the
Bryson
shit out of
DeChambeau is right behind Ludwig. He's right behind Ludwig at plus 2,000 right now, if you want Bryson. How about a top five? How about a top five for Bryson plus 360?
Bombing.
The Live channel posted, they had us they put a GoPro on us, and they're like, we just want you guys to just ride around in the car and just talk shit. So we're like, all right, no problem. So we go, we talk shit. The first clip they put was Cutsy talking about Percy Harvin on how he never lived up to his expectations. So
I don't know how that made the cut.
I know.
They had a lot of medical issues.
It was literally the first clip is Cutsy just smoking Percy Harvin.
Michael, he used to go in
of all the guys that may not deserve it.
I know.
Percy Harvin,
we were talking about him before, but this guy used to go into a pregame and he'd go for a couple catching passes and have headaches and miss the game out of nowhere. He was a fantasy nightmare to have on your team, Michael. Back then.
Mike, remember
how does it affect Joey D's bottom line in the gambling and fantasy world? That's how you will be judged for your
How about when we were
guy was unreliable.
The NCAA players, he's like, I'm gonna give a guy that never amounted to nothing.
That's not pretzel this year, Bob. I just said he never amounted to anything.
Is that a pretzel alert?
Oh, it is.
Pretzel alert?
Give that guy a little jingle, a little shake there.
You're claiming pretzel? You're claiming pretzel.
Yeah,
Yo, you did say something along the lines
never
of
amounted to nothing.
I want to talk about a guy. You know, I'm going to just give him a little shout out here, because we know he never amounted to nothing in his existence. But this guy. Well, who was it, Bob? It was like Big Country or somebody from.
It was Adam Morrison.
Adam
by the way, you know what? I shouldn't have put him in. That probably lost me that top five.
And turns out he's the voice of Gonzaga basketball. So he's got a good.
And Gonzaga's a prominent program, as we know.
That doesn't really amount to much because they've never won.
He did
they are.
They are. And by the way, talking to top fives, I have been on a fucking steamrolling.
Yeah, there's no question about it.
I have been as dominant as Bob was in 2024. This is the year of the cutscene D-man.
By the way, not to pat himself on the back, but he is.
No, but it's, you know what? You need what is
the facts are the facts, Bob. He's on a heater.
25, 21, and then Mikey's way
like 12 or 13.
Yeah. Mikey B.
I'll never not stick to it. Listen, I got so much flack.
He'll never financially
Jersey
recover from that, Bob.
And Ohio.
This is when he's gonna say, I stick to my guns, and I'm always gonna stick to my guns.
But that's true.
Jersey's a great state, regardless.
Bob, you were up by 8 at one point. You're now up by 4. I'm starting to bridge you.
Cutsy nipping at those heels, dog.
Not worried.
Yeah. You know what, though? I will say this about Michael. Say what you will about his top 5 record. The guy does stick to his guns. He does stick to he sticks to his guns, and he takes legitimate picks that he would take anytime. 100%. And Mikey, I do respect that.
100%. Some would call them little engine that could picks. Some would say.
Now they're derailing you, but I will still give you credit for that. You're not here to impress anybody.
Jet's calling. Just calling.
Mikey, I'd like you to tell him what he said to us. I think it's only fair.
What do you think? I won't?
Yeah, you're live on the Brilliant.
Oh boy.
I hate that show. It's my least favorite.
That's not nice.
The McAfee, I listen to Colin Cowherd, but if you put on the Brilliantly Dumb show, I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, I'll call you later.
Wait. First things first.
Whoa.
Was it Fred Couples said that the Augusta's like top 20 courses, not
No, that was Gary Player.
Gary Player.
Terrible take.
Gary Player. Yes.
But I will say I got a bunch of DMs of people with some tough Fred Couples story. Not to mention the other night a video surfaced on Twitter of Bill Murray yelling at a fan.
Oh, I saw that.
By the escalator in the mall.
And then he tried to go up the escalator. He had no idea where he was.
Yeah, saw that.
Buddy, grow up, dude. That's problem. So I'm 2 for 2. It's a great start for me. That was the other thing. Fred Couples was giving away Brooks Koepka's business. See, that was what had happened. He was talking about how Koepka.
That is true. That wasn't fair to Koepka. I agree.
You don't think that's going to be a motivating factor for Koepka going into Augusta? You're dead wrong.
Well, what's fun for
Brooksy?
Of course.
You know what's fun for Koepka is with his LIV deal about to end, he could play both sides. Like he got his money, now he could go back to the PGA. He's kind of in the driver's seat. But Yams, did you feel that the comment in regards to knowing ball was a shot at Cutsy?
By Mikey V?
Yeah, because
was you can't get a more clear shot than that.
Jet, I really like Bob is typically the pot stirrer. I would expect that kind of behavior from Bob, but it's really disheartening to get that kind of behavior.
That's what brought it to my attention.
I really
like, look at this.
Maybe Bob is wearing off on you a little bit too much, Jet.
Well, why am I coming?
Because you're the type of guy who would make a comment like that and stir the pot. You're a pot stirrer.
Go ahead, Yam.
Mikey, what could you have possibly meant by that comment besides a shot at
because the thing
how he doesn't know ball, and then you say not knowing ball is contagious. So unless you say that Jensen hanging around me is making him not know ball, then he would have an issue. But
you did say that your coaching tree is failing, Jet. You made that comment, not me.
My coaching tree is based strictly around time in Adobe Premiere. I don't focus on ball. I don't focus on any of that. It's how long can you sit in front of Adobe and grind.
Well, we know you can, my friend. We know that very well.
What I'm saying, but my coaching tree is based on that. Unfortunately, they don't get it. They don't know ball.
You know who's got a flawless coaching tree?
I know it's you.
That's correct.
I know about.
That's correct. I wouldn't pat myself on the back either. But when you do look at my coaching tree,
title of this show, this episode should be like patting ourselves on the back, one episode at a time.
Not to pat ourselves on the back is the title.
Great title, very nice title,
very nice title. Bob, you're a good motivator. You're a friend, you're a friend to all. Whereas I can't do that because
you're a tyrant.
Because my guys they need to have a little fear in them. You know what I mean? So
too much.
Obviously, guys are going to quit and leave. Like people like
just like the Bobby Knight of the YouTube game.
Joe, I had an exchange the other night, and he was so mad. Like what we were talking about was serious. He fucked up with something with Bob. He did something. He did something that he shouldn't have done, and I told him, and I said, you shouldn't have done that. That was unnecessary. He flipped out on me so hard that I couldn't help but laugh because of how angry he was.
When Jet starts flipping out on people, that's when it's a bomb.
Joe, bottom line is he was so angry that his tirade on me, his spiel on me made me laugh. He's like, you think it's fucking funny? He's like, you're going to tell me that I fucked up and then fucking laugh?
Would you go so far as to say that he was out of line, Bob?
Completely out of line, yeah.
Every couple things on that. Every once in a while, like we go back to the old days where it was crazy. Like that, I think you laugh because it reminded you of 3-4 years ago when it was just fucking chaos every day. But the other thing is, listen, you want to fucking start comparing lists of fuck ups? I can go into the lab and come up with a list of everybody's mistakes that everybody's made. With that being said, the specific thing that you were referencing was not a mistake, and it was for the betterment of our program.
It was.
By the way, at least he didn't tell you that he was going to come on you.
Whoa, what?
A great clip.
Wait, what?
Have you not seen that, Michael?
No.
Never seen that clip?
No.
He went off on me in a way. He went off on me in a way that.
In the car?
Oh, yeah, you can't script this shit.
He said anybody that comes at me is getting cummed on today.
Oh, yeah. Yes. That's
crazy.
Worded a little slightly different there.
But you know what I kept saying to Jet that really got under his skin? I kept going, you're going to call me in a day or two and admit that you were out of line. Like, you're going to call me in a day or two and you're going to realize.
Did he?
No, never did.
No. Okay. All right. Good way to stick to your guns, Jet.
I've done it in the past, but not about this. He's wrong. Like it's his word against mine. It won't stand in court. We're gonna find out in 10 years.
Right. He said, she said situation.
It's one of those things where you look back when the game's over and the players have gone home and the rafters have numbers retired, and you can decide then who was right.
So in legal terms, Jet, you're saying that Bob has no, like, in legality speak, mens rea, which would be like the Latin word for intent. There was no criminal intent, really. It's just a false accusation, a baseless accusation.
Mikey, what I'm saying is that Cutsy does not know ball. All right, guys.
See now, Joe, that wasn't me who said that. For the record,
how does it always come back on me, man?
I don't know. You know what? That's bullshit. That was bullshit. That
wasn't fair.
That was out of line. It was
if you ever went to court with Jet, he would come with the biggest bruiser of a Jewish lawyer that you could ever find. This guy would come straight from the synagogue into the courthouse, and he would take you for everything you had. Dude, he'd come in at the recess. He'd be breaking matzah, and he'd be fucking signing citations.
All right. Great, by the way. Great call. He's hot today, man. He is hot. Okay, let's go on into our buy or sell. My buy or sell was jacked. You didn't know it, Mikey. I don't hold that again. It's not your fault.
Sorry.
It's not your fault. I was going to go with Coke Zero. Coke Zero, to buy it's I'm a big Diet Coke guy. I know you're a big Diet Coke guy, Mikey. I think it has the same benefits, and there's no sugar in it, right? That's the key to Coke Zero, and it tastes more like Coke. Diet Coke is like its own separate entity.
Yeah.
So I'm buying the Coke Zero. If I have to throw in another buy, I will also buy a good sub shop that doesn't get talked about enough. I think Firehouse Subs is actually really, really good and doesn't get talked about. So just 2 food ones, 2 buys, and I'll send it to you, Peter.
So before I start with my sell, I will say, Michael, that Bob gave me a restaurant recommendation that was awesome.
Okay.
Place in Miami called Il Gabbiano, one of the best veal parms I've had.
I saw that. I happened to see that veal parm.
They had it on the chop.
Looked like a nice veal parm.
Fucking good. Sir, everything was great. The one thing I will say, and it's not just them specifically.
So is this a sell?
This is a sell, but it's not the restaurant. The restaurant was unbelievable. I shouted them out. But a lot of Italian restaurants do this, and I'm also going to branch out to a lot of other restaurants. Yeah. And they're overthinking it, but the bread service they bring out with the oil and vinegar.
Sure.
And a lot of other places they'll bring you like balsamic oil and balsamic. Yeah.
We'll stop there. What's wrong? You don't do the balsamic vinegar, Michael?
I've never seen them bring out balsamic usually.
You don't put the olive oil and then
olive oil, yes.
Olive oil and balsamic. That's
I've seen mostly the overwhelming majority is either you're getting butter, olive oil, and cheese, or some combination of those 3. I very rarely see a restaurant bring out balsamic vinegar with bread.
Well, oil
at least to me, that's not a common thing here.
It's a good poll for E. Anderson, by the way.
I will say that, like, and I'm not just talking about the oil and vinegar, the oil balsamic.
Right.
Some places do like an olive tapenade with the bread.
Yes, I've seen that eggplant
hummus, they're overthinking it. When I have bread brought to my table, I want it with butter. It is it's an undeniable go. It goes together better than it could be a French roll. It could be a baguette. It could be a piece of sourdough. It could be a breadstick.
Yeah.
Bread and butter is undefeated. And these other places, like when they bring this other stuff to me, I'm just going to ask for the butter. They're overthinking it.
Good for you.
Bread and butter. I'm selling all the other accoutrements that they're bringing with the bread basket.
Yep.
Stick with what has worked since the dawn of man. A stick of butter. It could be shavings of butter. It could be little butters, whatever.
Okay.
Butter and
good
we got it. We got
undeniable.
I'm going to tell you this, though, that it's about to go off when they bring that butter and it's in like a ceramic ramekin and it's like a whipped butter. Because there's a big problem when they just bring out the pre-packaged pats of butter and they're frozen or they're too hard, and you got to wait for that butter to melt down a little before you can spread it on your bread.
Hopefully the bread is warm, so it does
help. It's been a problem for a long time.
Yeah, just the classic battle with yourself to not go with too much bread when the bread's hitting is one of the classic
one of the
tale
biggest
as old time.
Yes,
It's
absolutely
tough.
is.
All right.
Michael, by the way, before we move on, what is your take on, like, I had the tortellini and brodo. Are you a fan of that? Like, to start out a meal, or not
Like
so
a
much?
pasta dish to start?
No, what, the soup, the
Oh,
brodo with the tortellini
I didn't see the
inside.
only thing I saw was the veal parm. That's the only thing I saw.
The
So you got a
tortellini and the
soup.
brodo,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't have any issue with the soup to start. No
Yeah.
issue.
Okay.
The thing we've discussed soup multiple times. The issue with soup is that it's never getting the job done whatsoever in terms of appetite. But if you're talking about dipping a little of that bread into the soup broth that's left, that's a nice play too.
Yeah.
Mikey V, take it away.
Yeah,
buddy.
I'm buying this week, and I'm buying. It's become my favorite segment on all the internet. It's to me, it's so incredibly funny without, again, the key not trying to be funny. It's just so hysterical. Is the Gruden unboxings of the college football different teams. It's just unbelievable, and he's just so out of his fucking. He is nuts. He
What does
really
he do
is.
with all that stuff?
I don't number. That's what I hope he donates most of it, because like, how many t-shirts and pairs of shorts do you need? Like, I'm sure
North
he gives
Carolina
most of it
State
away.
sent him the entire freaking,
Dude,
every piece of memorabilia
I
they
mean,
have.
he got Duke this week. He got Arizona, Southern Illinois. He has racked up every possible college. And when he opens the box too, with like the fucking the zombie knife from Walking Dead, he looks like he's gonna slit his wrist by accident. He's so violent with the knife. It's very concerning, but he's just so hysterical, bro. Like, it's just, I just think it's so funny. And then he just starts when he starts naming random alumni from the school. He's like, did you know that Judge Judy was a Saluki, man? Did you know that? Did you know that?
His
How about
Boise State
Luciano
one.
Pavarotti went to Arkansas, man?
That's
Did you know
good.
that? When he does that,
How about a blue field of Boise State?
bro,
Yeah.
it's so good. He just starts naming all the random players. It's just, he's one of one, Gruden. He really is, like, to me.
We saw him, Bob, remember, at the
He's
UFC? He was
1-1.
in for a second, then we never saw him again.
I wanted to go over and talk to him so bad. We saw him briefly. I really was going to go over, and yeah, Joe's right. He just was gone. He might be, like, if we did a top 5 content creators right now, he's might
in the top
be,
5.
Yeah, I really
think so?
Top 5. Oh God, he is that is
He's
the
a
best
factory.
hire that Barstool could have ever had. Like,
Yep.
he's a gold mine.
He is, without trying to be one. He's just crazy. He's just
better than Dion, eh, Michael?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, there's been a couple Barstool hires that were just Johnny Manziel was a Barstool hire briefly. Yeah, they've had a couple that was quick, but Gruden's there to stay, and credit to Dave. I really think that might be one of the best hires. He is fucking, and you're right, Mikey. I don't think, like, with his wife, I'd love to ask her, like, if he ever turns off. I don't know. It's him. Like, it's not a bit.
I love it. And that's why I love it. I just feel as though it's so genuine. Like, he's not just like, because there's no way you could maintain that all the time. Like, you just have to be that way. And like, he gets genuinely excited to, like, open this shit. Like, when he sees like a dry fit, Northern Illinois t-shirt, he just goes nuts. He's like, are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding with this?
And
like,
he, in fact, does know ball, Bob.
Oh, he's a ball
knows
knower.
ball.
He's a ball knower. He's got ball knowledge, bro. Put me to shame.
I think one of the best commentators was the best groupings when you had him, Tirico, and Jaws on Monday night. That's one of the greatest sets, I mean, that there's ever been. Like,
Spider 2Y banana. I think that's where it all started with him in the Monday night booth.
He's bringing the QB room back. I
love that too.
Yeah,
I love that too. I love that too.
It's
when he the video started, it'll just be like, Jackson Dart, Ole Miss Rebel, man. I love this stuff. He's so good, bro.
Good stuff. Was that oh no, D-Man had to sell. So 2 buys and sell. Another buy, I mean, we mentioned the Roy thing, but something that is, we talked about it earlier, we won't stay on it too long. Big buy for YouTube Golf with what Grant did with this LIV Duels. For him to get that to go on his channel,
pretty wild.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, the way we were bonding with these LIV guys, and like you said, Joe, even in the intro, like that whole thing for Grant to get that on his channel, that guy is so hot right now. And
Golden Boy Golf.
the best part with Grant, he is truly one of the most likable people on earth. So like,
he's a good person.
Yeah, you could say that like we're competitors and we're really not. He's got a different demographic. He's killing it, and we're so close. We've known him for so long. But he really is one of the most likable people. So like to see him succeed, you're genuinely happy to see him succeed. And I mean, for him to do that YouTube video, I think it's going to do more numbers than Bryson and Trump did. I really do.
No,
I think so. I think it's going to be right there. If not,
you got a lot of guys in that video, man. Mickelson seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah, but the Trump one went to a place that's just like, it's more than golf.
Well, I mean, it's true. You know, Trump is the most polarizing guy on the planet.
Yeah, that's true. I got to see the Bryson one again with that. I remember that going nuclear. It's going to go
big. Over 12 million views, I think.
Is that right?
Crazy.
In like Michael, in like 2 months, it probably now is at like, I could look. It's probably got like 15 to 20 million.
In the business, they call that a heater.
Go look real quick. I'm curious. Now the Brilliantly Dumb Show, 35,000 in like 3 days on the YouTube channel. Which...
Listen. We don't have a sitting president here. What do you want us to do? You know, we that's all we got.
I'm going down here. Hold on, Bryson.
Mikey, if you had one question for Donnie, what would you ask him? I would ask something about like the service at the White House, like food wise.
Is that what you would ask him?
Yeah, like at night, if he wakes up at like 2 a.m. and walks around, like, is there a fridge that he walks to, or like, are they just like, do you come out the door and there's just
somebody's got to be waiting right outside the door? I would imagine.
Correct. Which it's got to take some time to get used to.
Yeah,
14 million views now in 8 months.
That's a heavy hitter.
I retract my statement. I don't think it's going
14 million.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to that. I retract.
It's a nice piece.
It's a really nice. That's good AdSense right there, man. But what would you ask him, Mikey? Like politics aside.
Yeah, no, politics always aside. I guess I would ask him like if he could have saw himself. You know, if he could have seen himself do anything else other than, you know, like if he could see himself working any type of blue collar job, if he didn't have the advantages he had growing up with his father, like if he was just a normal guy, like let's take all the money away. And that's hard to say because like that shaped his whole personality and persona. But if he had to toss it all away and he just had to pick like a blue collar job, what would it be? I just think it would be fascinating to see what he would pick.
D-Man, what would you ask Donnie?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
A lot of questions. I guess I would kind of think like how did the whole apprentice stuff start? That was pretty wild. And then to go from there to the presidency. Yeah. I mean, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
Like, did he ever think that was going to be like, I don't know.
He had talked early in his career about it because they always show those old interviews where he had talked about like if he became president. You know what I mean? He's like,
yeah, but it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to do it. It's
true.
Crazy.
True.
I would also ask, I would be curious whether he would answer truthfully or not. I don't know, but I would love to know if there's times during his presidency where he looks back, he's like, fuck, I wish I wasn't president right now. Like, I wish I was just at Mar-a-Lago, just doing my, you know what I mean? And I would think, yes, I would think there's times where he's like, fuck, but I don't know. I don't know if he would tell you or not. Yeah, wild stuff. Let's get on to our top 5. It's a really, really good top 5. I think this is a Joey D top 5.
Joey D special.
Yeah, D, tell them what they're gonna get today.
So today's top 5 is top 5 like movie soundtracks, and we're not talking like songs that are not necessarily affiliated. We're talking about scores inside of the movie. So like
not the entire soundtrack, just a particular song.
A particular song or score soundtrack that people associate the movie with. So I think it'll be fun. There's going to be a lot of different ones.
Should probably call like most recognizable movie theme songs.
No,
yes.
I would go top individual movie soundtracks, like top.
Oh no, not
because when you say soundtracks, that encompasses the whole thing.
It's a song.
Okay, all right.
And by the way, Mikey, I think
top movie theme songs. You just say that.
And by the way,
Joe.
Separate.
Yeah,
EA can get this going. This comes back full circle to the initial debate. Which soundtrack is gonna go harder between Jaws and Jurassic Park? I want a poll.
Well, that was just what movie is better. And
I want a poll.
Mike Berger already sealed the deal on that when he said it was Jaws because he is right. He is right.
there was a lot of people in the Jurassic Park camp, but I'm saying for the soundtrack, I think those are two prominent
very much so.
soundtracks too.
Very much so.
I'd like
Very
to know
much
what
so.
people stand on that as well.
Very much so. Very much so.
Okay, D-Man, where do you want to go?
He's leading off today, Bob. I bet my life on it.
I'm going one.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, give me 3. Mikey 2. Joseph, take it away.
I just think this is the most well-known, like, of any song, any movie. It's got to be the Godfather soundtrack.
Godfather Waltz. So you're talking about the Godfather.
Yeah, I think that's just iconic.
It's a good pick.
I think I'm gonna be terrible here.
Start me off. I will start off with Jaws because there's no more like dun dun, like it's synonymous. You hear it, you know automatically what it is. They use it for multiple things. Give me the Jaws, the Jaws theme.
Okay, I'm gonna go Star Wars.
Which Star Wars, Bob?
The dun 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 dun.
So Bob wants that's the Empire. That's the Empire. Imperial March is the name of that song.
Yeah,
the Imperial March. Okay.
I thought he was going to go with the other one.
So did I.
Right.
Right. Very, very interesting there. Very interesting. That is still on the table. That's still in play.
Oh, can we do the same? Can we do the same?
That makes it very interesting, Michael.
That's a totally different song. I mean, it's a different song.
That was the one I thought he was going to go with.
I mean, look, it's up to the committee, but I think we should do after you take the movie, then that's it. I think you're getting
gets the movie off the board.
Yeah, I think you're getting too dicey.
Okay.
And then give me Jurassic Park. I'll go with Jurassic Park.
Oh, that's a good back-to-back there.
Use that for the Instagram story a lot.
I'm gonna take one. Give me Rocky. I mean, everybody works out to the Rocky songs. Yeah,
Mikey. Then I would have done like Eye of the Tiger is another good one. There's so many Rockies.
Or Hearts on Fire.
So I want Rocky.
Rocky's
Gonna Fly Now is the name of the song.
Sure.
Gonna Fly Now.
So Rocky's off the board.
Rocky is off the board.
D-Man.
I will go.
Back.
I'm gonna go Batman. You know that one, the Batman song?
I know it. Yeah, I know it. I know.
Why are you looking like you're kind of?
I don't know. I didn't expect. I was just, it hit me unexpectedly. I didn't see that.
I just think it's so good. And then I'm gonna go with my next one, Indiana Jones.
Good one. Very good.
Back to you, Michael.
Yeah, hit me off with Titanic. My heart will go on.
God damn it! I had that ready.
Heart will go on. It is what it is.
That's so good. I mean, I had that. I'm gonna go. Joe put it in the group chat before. I think it's a good one. Give me Lion King, Elton John, Certain of Life.
Circle
of Life. What did I say?
Certain of Life.
Honestly,
there we go.
Honestly,
and we have our first clip of the week, ladies and gentlemen. It's certain of life. It's
oh my
God. Full disclosure. I meant to say circle. It's not like a fettuccine thing where I thought
certain of life. You know, the other one from behind the Lion King, the Hasabenya, is really good too.
Okay, 4. There's your clip. Give me 8 Mile, Lose Yourself.
That's a good one, Bob.
And then over to Michael.
Yeah, give me Ghostbusters. Yeah, I mean Ghostbusters is the top-notch little theme song there.
Back to the D-Man.
I'm gonna go with James Bond. It's
a good top 5. I think you're gonna have a lot of engagement here, and it's all about engagement.
Oh, this is tough. The last one now. You know what I'm going to go, Michael? I'm going to do a change up.
Hit me up.
I'm going to do the Mike Myers Halloween.
That's very good. That's that plays. That plays absolutely. I'll close out with Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings.
Oh, which one? The
na 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 na.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Da, na, 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 na,
Yes,
do,
yes,
do,
sir.
do, do, do,
Yes,
do.
sir.
All right, Bob. There's still some good ones.
Yeah,
There
some
are.
really, really good ones.
Certain
I don't know if he made a mistake there.
I genuinely do
I'm
think,
telling
to
you, I
be
did.
fair, I do think he meant circle, but certain was just so much better. So much.
I tell you, if it
Some
was,
things are certain.
We're certain of life, that's for sure.
Give me the Sandlot theme song. I was either gonna go with Friday Night Lights or Sandlot.
I tell you what, I think Joe's gonna win again. I gotta be honest. I just think he's gonna win again.
It's 2025, man.
Although I don't know though about Batman, Joe. I love everything that you got, but you could have got Batman. Batman wasn't even. Was Batman on your radar, Bob?
No, I
not
didn't know
mine either. You could have got Batman in the 5-hole. But I will say that Halloween I thought was a very underrated, strong play at the end. That was real nice. Joe's. I'll read the list. I'm sorry. Joe's list: Godfather Waltz, the Batman theme. That's the only hiccup I have on that list. Indiana Jones, James Bond, Halloween. Then I had Jaws, Rocky, Gonna Fly Now, Titanic, Heart Will Go On, the Ghostbusters theme, and the Lord of the Rings, the main theme. Yeah. And then Bob's got Star Wars Imperial March. He's got Jurassic Park, the main theme, Lion King, Circle of Life, 8 Mile, Lose Yourself, and then finally The Sandlot, which I got to be honest, I'm not like, if you told me to like hum the Sandlot theme off the top of my head, I couldn't do it, and that might be on me. I've seen it a million times, but
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. I mean, the engagement's gonna be really good.
You got any honorable mentions there?
I had Friday Night Lights.
Right, Friday Night Lights. I got, you know what I had, Joe? You might know this: The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah,
I got
that's a good one.
It is.
A Star Is Born, Shallow. Was really, really good.
That's not bad.
That's a song that came.
Mikey, how about Mission Impossible?
Yeah. Mission Impossible. Right.
Toy Story.
Toy Story's great. Toy Story's great. That's a
Gladiator.
Good one. Gladiator's a good one.
You know, it's good. Spirit in the Sky. Remember the Titans too. I liked a lot.
Bob loves Spirit.
It's a great movie.
Bob loves Remember the Titans.
Great movie.
He loves Remember the Titans.
All right,
That's a certain of life.
That does it. Another edition of the Brilliantly Dumb Show, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you next time. Good stuff, fellas. Like, comment, subscribe. EA, welcome to the show, big dog. See you next week.